I just want to give everybody a little heads up. This is going to be uniquely different because it's actually going to be like me having a conversation with you, right? So I am not looking to inspire or motivate or anything along those lines. But what I truly do want to do is educate and really move some of these myths and some of these things that we talk about in the industry and really look at this process, the awakening that we're going through and having our clarity, knowing what we're attaching our dreams to, and really being able to hit it hard with our desires. So when you look at how does this begin, I'm going to say something that Audrey, our CEO, always talks about, and that's getting real, right? And so sometimes it's really time to get real with what's happening and wake up. So a couple of things we're going to look at today, a couple of things we're going to look at as we go through this process tonight. We're going to look at one of the things that we really don't like to talk about too much, and that's the failure rate that most people experience in this industry. And what's so unique about that is that there's also a massive success rate. And what I mean by massive success rate, for those of you who may not know this, 1 out of 2 millionaires, right, that become millionaires do so with network marketing. Yet there are over 95% of people that really have very little success in the industry. So it's really interesting to see how all these things happen, and you can have all of this coming together at the same time. One of the things that I find so interesting, and this is why we talk about Innerfit, the thing that I find so interesting is that what we tend to look at first is outside of us. It's the company, it's this, it's that, all these different reasons as to why something isn't happening in the manner that we want it to happen in. But within Innerfit, we know the first place that we want to look is inside, right? And so I'm going to give you an example. And this example that I'm giving you is not about judgment. It's not about anything. It's just about giving you information so we can take a look at our own behavior. So last week, we talked about having an assignment, of writing a story and of Dorothy, Wizard of Oz, and just writing a story and getting clear and incorporating ourselves into that. And I just want to tell the people who participated, thank you so much for playing full out. I love the stories. Some of them brought tears to my eyes because it was just so amazing, the time and the energy that you put in to do that. And so we so appreciate you doing that. And we'll be announcing the winner and all of those things pretty soon. But then there was a majority of people that didn't bother to do it at all. And so what I would love to invite you to do, right? Because this is like, we're in week 3. So the invitation that I'd like to extend to you is to really look at why maybe you did not complete the exercise. What excuse did you use? What reason did you use? I'm not a good writer. I can't win, blah, whatever it is, whatever the blah, blah, blah is that kept you from doing it, whatever was going on in your mind, in your consciousness. And then I'd like you to look and see, is that something that consistently comes up for you? Is that something that consistently comes up and gets in your way? Because it's interesting that we talk about personal mastery. And personal mastery is getting yourself to do what you know you should do and getting yourself to do what most won't do. So many of us have these desires to be great, these desires to have a fulfilled life, these desires to really have the life of our dreams. So what we want to make sure is that our actions match that. So again, I am not calling anybody out. I'm not asking you to judge it as right or wrong, good or bad. What I would love for you to do is just take a look and see, are there things that you do or don't do, right, that may not act in accordance to what you really want to accomplish. So that's my invitation to you. So now let's talk about something that I think is really fun. So question is, have you chosen network marketing to be your way to achieve your passion and purpose? So what I want you to know is that our conversation today truly will assist you in evaluating Jump, the company that you're with, along with companies you may have been with in the past, or if somebody's talking to you about other companies and you're actually taking a look. And we'll also be exposing some of the myths along the way, because that's really important as well. So some interesting stats that Audrey sent me the other day, and we were talking about this, and it really helped me to look at one of the global issues that I think really outside of ourselves, but the global issue that gets in our way. When you look at, and this is right from the DSA, you look at the number and millions of direct sellers in the industry, and you look at the part-time number in comparison to the full-time number. So I'm gonna get really raw and serious here with you, right? So when you look at that, it's amazing how this whole industry, right, over 90+% is built on part-timers. Now here's the reality, the global perception, the global reality is that 99% of the compensation plans that are designed for what? Full-time. They're not designed for part-time. I don't care what anybody tells you. I get so tired of hearing this crap and these insults of people who talk about, oh, we have a plan for the little guy and the little gal. Number one, just that comment alone is an insult to people, right? Because when the whole industry is built on part-timers, and that's what you consider a little guy or a little gal, is a part-timer, but it's a part-time person. And so what's so frustrating, what I find so frustrating to me is that the plans that are designed, right, are designed for full-time people, not part-time. So when you look at that, it really makes you stop and wonder and say, okay, so how does this shift? How does this change, right? Because there are even some companies, think about this, there are even some companies that pay leaders to bring part-timers or bring people to their business. And these leaders are really good at it. That's why they get paid to do it. What happens is that when those part-timers arrive and they can't accomplish, they can't achieve the goals, right? They're chasing dreams that turn to nightmares, right? Because they don't have, the plan is not designed for them. It's designed for that 1/2 or 1% of people. It's not designed for them. So what they see in their minds, they'll see somebody making $150,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $20,000 a month. In their mind, they'll say, well, if that person can make $20,000, I must be able to make $2,000 or $1,000. But the reality is it's not set up for them to win. And I don't care when you look at these plans and you look at all the different things that are going on. Like I said, I'm just going to get real here and have a conversation as if I was talking to you face to face or outside having a conversation. When you look at all these plans and people talk about all these different bonuses and car bonuses and this and health insurance and all kinds of things that you can get along the way, I want you to take a really close look at what you have to do to accomplish that. And I guarantee you, 10 out of 10 times, the part-time person very rarely will get there. However, because of slick marketing, because of how you can make things sound, because of how you could present it, it appears that it's something that you can do. In reality, it's nothing that the part-timer will get to. But the full-timer, right, the person that can bring in many, many, many people can experience it, because it's just the nature of the beast. So that's one of the things that I want to look at. And one of the things that I love about what we do, and this is for those of us who are in Jump, one of the things that you can be so very, very proud of and so happy about is that you're not leading people down a path that they can't have success. If people do not have success in this process, it's because they're just not doing the simple things to make it so. Right? It really, I mean, when you look at all the different components, that's what it comes down to. Now, some people don't want to hear that. They rather have somebody else to blame. But anyway, the truth of the matter is the industry is built on part-time people. Companies design their plans for full-time people, and they pay people to bring people to the company, knowing that 90% of them, dreams will never become a reality. And if you don't believe me, just look it up for yourself. Look up the income disclosure statements. Look up some of the public companies and look at the income disclosure statements and see where the money is being paid out. And so when you look at Jump and you look at our plan, and we're going to go through some plans here as we go through it. But I wanted to hit this global issue because this was really critical to me. And I was so grateful Audrey sent this over to me because it was so critical because it answered so many questions about why the industry as a whole, right? And why sometimes we have difficulty when we're talking to people because they have a negative perception about the industry because they came with so many dreams, so many hopes, so many desires. So many of you that are on this webinar, right, had your own desires and they got shattered, right? Fortunately, we're here today so we can change that. So have you chosen network marketing to achieve your passion today? We talked about that already. So let's talk about looking at the highlights that we're going to talk about. So when you're looking at a company, and if you look at Jump or you look at any company, the questions that you want to begin to really ask yourself are really some simple ones. What do you know about the company? What do you know about them? Do you know the leadership? What do you know about them? If it's a public company, there's a lot of ways that you can get information, but it's important to know what the values are. What does the company stand for? Who's on the leadership team? I got to tell you, I've gone to some sites and some companies that people say, hey, Randy, can you look at this for me? And you go to the about page or you go to look for who the leaders, and there's nobody there. And what I want to tell you point blank, if you look at a company and there's no leadership team and it's just a whole bunch of vision, blah, 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 run, do not walk, run as fast as you can away from that. Because when people don't disclose who they are and you can't look at their credentials and what they've done, that's a big warning sign right there that you do not want to play with. Another one is how long has the company been in business? So some of the highlights there. So if you look and you will see most people or financials will recommend that you look at a company that's 5 years or older. And I have to tell you, in today's age, with as fast as we're moving, that might be a little long. But I would tell you the sweet spot for how long a company has been in business is 2.5 years. And again, this is not to just promote Jump, but I want to give you the reality. When you take a look at the fact of where Jump is in business right now, along with being able to grow through a pandemic, through the worst times in history, and we're standing and still doing more and more and more things, that gives you a strong idea that you're in the right place at the right time. I used to get so tired of hearing that, right place, right time, blah, blah, blah. Right? But when it's true, it's true. And this happens to be true when you just look at the facts. You don't have to believe me. Just look at the facts. Look at all the things that the company has done. Look at all the things that are now part of your tools and your packages that we'll go through a little bit as we go through this process. So when you put all that together, going through where most companies and most people are going down, and we're growing and still standing and following through and receiving all kinds of rewards and all kinds of awards rather that are going on. Another highlight that we really want to talk about that you want to look at that's critical is products and pricing, right? Because no matter what people say about how they pay out, it really comes down to the products and pricing. Will people pay for your product? Is the value there? Is the products that you're looking at, do they have the value? Do they have the price point? Do they have the ingredients? So you want to be able to analyze that. And again, this is my opinion. You have to be a product of the product. I have no idea how you can talk about something, represent something, and you're not a product of the product. So yes, can you join the business for free? Absolutely. But somehow, some way, I would strongly suggest to you gathering your customers that you're able to get products and literally get products in your body. Because the beauty is, number one, your body's going to have a party when you get the products. But when you look at the products and you look at our pricing, it's pretty amazing. So you want to be able to evaluate that and see, how do you feel when you talk to somebody about the price and the products that you are representing? Training and support. Well, here, look at what we're doing now. So look at training and support of companies. And one of the things that I think is really, I'm going to skip down and then I'll come back up here, is the person introducing you to the company committed to your success, right? Can you build a business without the person that sponsored you coming into the company? Because I can't tell you the number of people that I've talked to that says, well, I can't get the support, I can't get the help. Well, you have to make sure and look at a company. When you're looking at a company, does that company provide you with the tools, with the resources, with the training, with the support, that with or without the person that brought you to the business, you can have success? That's what you want to know. So you want to look at, do you have an app? Are you able to get trained on the products? Are you able to understand what's in the products? Do you have the ability to reach out to other leaders and talk to them and ask them for support? These are the things that you really want to know, because there are times when people go through different hardships in their life and different things happen, and you could find yourself in the business without the person who introduced you. But if you came into the business just based on the person who introduced you, you probably came into business for the wrong reasons, right? So really looking at what you want to do and what your life is about and having the support for that. The education and resources. I have to tell you this, and this is just my own personal bias. When I'm on our Thursday night calls, not only do I feel elated because how our products compare to others, but also on the education that people are receiving for their life, whether they're part of Jump or not. The education that they receive is going to be valuable for moving them forward. And then looking at a marketing system, right? When you look at the back office, is there a marketing system? Is there an app? Is it ease of doing business? And we already talked about as a person who introduced you to the business committed to your success. And key, can you generate immediate income? So let's look at immediate income, and let's look at what happens. So I want to talk about what I like to call the effective financial business pay plans. All right. And the major cause of why people don't earn money. One is the promise of easy money. It just annoys me to no end when I hear people talk about, oh, this is a business that anybody can do. Well, that is a lie. A bold-faced lie. This is not a business that anybody can do, right? It's a business that is simple and can be done, but it's not one that anybody can do. And the promise of easy money, promising people something that cannot happen just based on the design of the plan, right? So it really is one of the things that really pisses me off when you look at these compensation plans that are designed only for the people and I hate to use the term at the top, but that's just the way it is, right? When a plan is designed, there's no way to build a part-time income, right? You can't even access the additional bonuses in the plan. And when you talk about all of the different hoops, all the different things that you have to go through to get paid. So some of you may be familiar. I mean, I'm going to tell you a quick story of how when you talk about plans and how things can look, right? But then when you go a little deeper. So there was a company, and some of you may be familiar with this company. There was a company that had a car program, and their car program was amazing. It took off like crazy. People were so excited. In this program, you needed 12,500 in volume to get paid a car bonus of $600. So 12.5 in volume. But here's what's so cool. Everybody wanted these cars, and it was great. But here's what was so interesting. When you look just a little deeper, in order to participate, right? In order to participate, you had to come in at $499. So to play, right? To even have the opportunity to get the bonus, you had to come in at $499. And you had to build your business with people who came in at $499. So you could build this business with your $499s in your first month, and you can do it, go, and get qualified for the car. But guess what happens the following month? Either you have to go and do that all over again with a brand new set of people, because those $499 a month, if everybody stayed in the business, went down to $125 a month, right? So now what was $499? So now you're looking for 3 to 4 times the same amount of volume that you would get from one person. So what you have to hope for, right? And really, really hope for is that the people that you inspired to come in at $499 were able to do the same thing. But what many people found out as their cars got repossessed, that wasn't the case. But when you looked at the plan, it looked so good. The marketing, the excitement, the signs and things you could say to people, on and on and on. But again, so you want to be able to go a little deeper. So when you look at plans and you look at compensation plans and you look at the hoops and you look at these bonuses, I urge you, I invite you to really go a little deeper, ask some more questions about it. Look at complicated structures. And the reason why structures are complicated and they sound good is because they're ways to create more breakage so the company can make more money and more benefit from it. So let's look at what I like to say, some of the common plans that you're going to experience. One very simple plan is your basic, simple affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing is a great thing to happen, but it's all about you. There's literally no leverage when it comes to affiliate marketing. So there's no leverage. So what I did was just to make a little comparison so we could see how plans stack up against each other or with each other. So let's go on the high side and say that each sale accounts for $250, right? And let's say you were able to make 20 sales. So if you made 20 sales, and most affiliate programs will pay you 10%. So you have 5,000 in volume, you get paid 10%, it's 500. But any of these sales, let's say that out of the 20 sales that you made, there are people that go out and they sell something. Well, there's no leverage in this model. So you're not going to make any additional funds on that. The only thing you're going to make is on what you personally did in your own affiliate marketing. And there's many people that do affiliate marketing. And there are some affiliate markets that have more than one level, that have two levels, just so you know, legally you can have up to two levels, no more than two levels. And in some states, even two levels is considered multi-level. But the majority of states will accept two levels. So there are some where you can get a little bit of leverage on that second level. So that's the affiliate marketing program, really simple. Now, this is one that not many companies use anymore. There's just a couple that use a matrix. And what a matrix is that no matter when or where you come in, it's just like filling the boxes, it's filling the blanks. So you fill in the blanks. And this is just a simple 2x8 matrix. And I just did 4 levels to max out to look at the volume when you had like 60 people into the business. Now with a matrix, what happens is that as you go further and deeper into the matrix, the percentages of payout get a little lower. So you go into the matrix and you start out with level 1, generally 10%, level 2, 10%, then you go to 5. So if you look at this model and you look at all of the different components of it, you would have a total of like 60 people and get paid $450, right? Now, that's also, and I made it as easy and simple as possible, even with the assumptions that everybody goes and does what they say they're going to do, which we all know very rarely happens, but we're going to make it on the assumption that everybody does what they're supposed to do, and they do that and they follow through. Total 60 people, you get paid $450. Okay, so those are pretty common. So now this is the one that we're going to spend the most time on, and I'm going to bring you to the graph in a couple of minutes. However, I want to spend some time on this because this is critical, because most companies today are using binaries. And they claim that the binary is such a simple process and it's so easy to use and it's the best process out there. And I'm going to say to you that I personally believe, doesn't mean it's true, it's just my personal belief, that if you dig deeper into the binary, you will see that it has some interesting loopholes in here to look at. One of the biggest ones is that your CV is very, very rarely, I can't even remember a binary that the CV is dollar for dollar. And maybe there's one in the world that's the case. But your CV is very rarely dollar for dollar. So which means that what I used here as an example. Let's say you have a sales price of $100. Okay. So you sell something for $100, but your CV value is $65. So you get 65% of your sale. So remember, you're getting told of how the company pays out 50, 60% on the comp plan. They say that, but what are they paying that out on? They're paying that out on commissionable value. So when you hear us in Jump talk about dollar for dollar, this is the example that I'm talking about. So think of $100, you sold $100 worth of stuff, but you're getting paid on $65. So for example, let's say you sell $10,000, you make $10,000, you sell $10,000 in sales. You're going to get paid on $6,500. $3,500 of those dollars goes directly to the company before any payout is made. So before any payout at all is made, $3,500 goes directly to the company. Nothing wrong with that. That's just how the company is. That's how they're making money. That's how it's played out. Just want you to be able to realize that that's what happens. That is why you see so many companies talking about, oh yeah, we pay out up to 60%. Well, you're paying out on 65% of the sale. So yes, you can say that, and that could be true. Now, the other thing that I think is so interesting, because the biggest claim to fame is with binaries, you only have to build 2 teams, right? So they come up with cute names now, but back in the early days, it was just your strong leg and your weak leg, or strong side and weak side, right? So most plans today, they got really creative, and they do some different things, and they got cycles and all kinds of cool stuff, but we're going to keep it simple and keep it real. So most plans pay out between 10 and 20% on the weak side, not the strong side. They deduct the volume from both sides. So stay with me here. I want you to really understand this. I want you to look at this. I'm going to go to a graph in a minute so you'll see it, right? But so now you're only getting paid on your weak side. The volume that's coming off of your weak side is also coming off of your strong side, and whatever's left over carries over to the following week for the next weekly pay. So remember that if you had 10K in CV, right? If you had 10K in CV, that's about 15.5 in sales. And let's say your strong team had 6,000 in volume and your weak team had 4,000. Well, you only get paid on your weak team. Like I said, the volume is deducted from both teams, so you carry over 2K on your strong team. So the reality is, right, if you dig a little deeper, you're getting paid on half. So you're getting, let's go from the top. You're getting paid on 65% of what you sold, and now you're getting paid on 50% of what the CV is. Right. So if you look at that, to me, it makes you wonder. Yeah. So you can create a lot of great stories around that. But the reality is when you look at it and you look at, let's say, even if you take out, let's say let's go on the high side and say you're at 15% on your weak side. All right. And so your volume on your strong leg is 6,000 and volume under your weak leg is 4,000. So that means you're paid 15%, $600, right? $600 for that. So that's not bad, but I'm just saying to you that when you look at what you generated and then you look at what you're getting paid, it doesn't match the hype and the stories that kind of go that people are sharing about the binary plan. Let's look at Jump's revenue sharing plan. And we're going to use the same assumptions of following through and keeping everything literally the same, right? So if you look at 10,000 in volume, number one, critical point, you're getting paid dollar for dollar, right? So you're getting paid on the entire $10,000. You're getting a mentoring bonus of $1,500. You're getting a Get Real bonus, right, which comes every month, of $500, and team commissions, because you're getting paid your team commissions of $250. So that's $2,250 right there. $2,250 on the same 10,000 in volume. So when you look at all of the stories and the things that are said to you, I want you to really think about this, because you're in business and you're in business for yourself. Right. So in a business, if you're running the business, you have to realize and know that there's your cost of goods being sold. There's salaries, there's apps, there's back office, there's all kinds of expenses that are taking place, right, that are going on to keep your business functioning, as well as paying out your commissions. So when you look at a plan, make sure that you're understanding and seeing how is this happening? How is a company able to pay out 60 to 70%? The only way that they would ever be able to do that is by manipulating the plan. And when you look at the fact that the majority of people, right, what we talked about from a global aspect, the majority of people that come into the business are part-time. What you're looking at in this diagram, any person that chose to really build a business part-time, when I say part-time, I'm looking at probably 4 to 10 hours a week. So let's say you took 4 to 10 hours a week. How many people would want to take 4 to 10 hours a week to earn an additional $2,000? Right? But here's the key, right? And sometimes this is where it gets a little uncomfortable because many people want to play the old games that we used to play in this business. We're not in that game anymore. This is a different day and a different age. So when you look back at the global reasons as why part-time is and why people fail, but there's critical reasons as well that go along with that. People always talk to, and we talked about this in one of our earlier weeks, and I spend time talking about this, and it really upsets people sometimes when we talk about these sacred cows that we hold so dear. And we talk about this process of duplication. And when you look at the process of duplicating, I really want to invite you to look at what's getting duplicated. I really want to invite you to look at and see for yourself, evaluate and just look at, without judgment, but just look to see. Look at the results. Look at the data that you're getting following things that you were told to do years and years ago. All right, so I'm not saying that you don't want to duplicate, but what is it that you're duplicating? Are you duplicating service? Are you duplicating value? Are you duplicating excellence? Or are we going through these old exercises? And I remember them so well because I did them very well, ladies and gentlemen, so I understand them. I understand being that leader that goes out and gets, 50, hundreds of people to come into a room, right? And then you're told and taught how to find the 2 or 3 people that really want to work and then support the other ones, but really focusing on those and do this tap rooting and do all these other cute, cool things. But when you look at all of that, there's still very few people that are getting paid. So my question to you, my question to all of us, do you want to be with a company? Do you want to have a revenue sharing plan that literally pays thousands and thousands and thousands of people and changes lives? Or would you rather have one that only impacts a few people and thousands of people leave disappointed? So many people say, no, Randy, I would love to see thousands and thousands of people have success. But then I ask you this question. And again, this is not about inspiration and motivation. I just want us all to look inside ourselves and say, do the actions that I'm taking match that? Or what am I duplicating? When I look at my team, am I duplicating service or what am I doing? Right? Do I know? Do I understand what each and every person on my team and my business truly desires to have? Do I know what's driving them? Am I supporting them in getting them? Right? Am I part of the process of them understanding how to do this? Because ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something, and most of you won't like it, but this is just a fact. If you cannot sponsor 3 people and start to build a team, then network marketing, direct sales may not be for you. Right? That doesn't mean that you don't take the products. It doesn't mean that you don't stay on. It doesn't mean that you don't go gather customers. But the reality is to try to build something, and it's not something that you can do or something that you don't find that works for you, then let's find what does work for you, because there's something that works for you. Let's find what does. But the key to the simplicity. So what we're talking about here is simple. It's very, very simple. What I find frustrating sometimes is that we try to complicate it because of how we've been conditioned. And you know that I talk about conditioning all the time. Well, we've been conditioned in this industry to believe certain things. We've been conditioned in this industry to believe that we need to edify someone else to sell a product, that we need to put someone else onto the phone. And we downplay our own strengths. We downplay our own abilities. We take away from the value in our own intelligence and turn our business and our lives over to someone else. Well, I have to tell you, I think it's time to make a shift in that. When you look at the tools that Jump to Health has, when you look at the facts that you're able to really get the education and the things you need on your own to build your business. And I'm not saying not to utilize the people that work with you. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that this is your business. This is your business. It belongs to you, and it's up to you to bring to your business what it needs and requires. It's like when I was reading the stories that the ladies put into it was just it blew me away. It blew me away because when you have the ability to lead yourself, so if you want to see a shift in your business, if you want to see a shift in this industry, that starts with us. It starts with looking at some of these things that we've been saying to each other for years upon years upon years. And then we look at how many times we're building over and over and over. And what would happen? What would happen if we really took a shift? If we really took a shift and worked with teams and allowed those teams to experience the $2,200. And when you take this plan to another level, for the leaders that are here and the leaders yet to come, your income is safer than it will ever be. Because when you look at the money that will be earned on matching bonuses, the money that's earned on matching bonuses, as you support people making their $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, you're making 20 or 10% or 5% on that. So as you're supporting them, so all of your efforts, all of your energy that you're putting out is being rewarded. So now we have residual income coming twofold. One, because you look at the products and the values of the products, and customers get these products into their bodies. They love it. They have life-changing experiences. One level. Second level is now you have teams of people. And let me ask every person on this call, how many people do you think are going to quit or leave your business that are making $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month? I guarantee you, none of them are going to quit. And here's something else that I guarantee you. They'll figure out how to take it to the next level. They will figure out how to take it to the next level. So I think it comes down to, again, looking at globally where we are and what we're up against. Well, those of us that are in Jump have a vehicle that can actually shift that and change that. Second thing that we have to look at is how are we building our business? What are we duplicating, right? What are we truly looking at? Are we duplicating service? Are we duplicating excellence? Are we duplicating having a conversation, right? So many people get so tied up and so into what they're going to get, or I have to go get someone. And I love it when we get to the end of the month and everybody wakes up and now they're going out to get people. Nobody wants to be gotten. Do you? But I tell you what people do want. They do want someone that believes in them. They do want someone that has their back. They do want someone that says, yes, let's do this together, right? No games, no hype, no nonsense. So if you look at all of this and you put this together in one soup, let's look at this and let's get real about this. So let's look at some of the affiliate marketing program, $500, not bad. Network marketing, this is doing it perfectly. Network marketing matrix, $450, not bad. Binary, $600. But let's look at the Jump to Wealth plan. Triple. What does it take to do that? Is it complicated? No. But what does it take? It takes conversation. What does it take? It takes a level of belief. It takes a level of certainty. It takes a level of knowing that what you have. I'm going to tell you a really quick story. I might have shared this with you before, but the thing I recognized, when the most money I ever made in this industry, I made because I was so excited, because I believed in my heart and every fiber of my being that every person who picked up the phone, dialed one, the area code, and the number was going to be rich. And if you didn't understand that, my God, I just didn't know where was your brain. And so it is excitement, it is enthusiasm. So you combine that excitement and that enthusiasm with a level of service that you would like to receive, right? How would you like to be treated in your business? I'm not talking about babysitting people. No, I'm talking about working with people hand in hand, absolutely, positively having impact in their life. The only way this industry will ever shift, right? And I believe that jump to health and jump to wealth has the ability to shift it, is by taking the old, outdated, duplicating systems, scripts, nonsense, just unadulterated nonsense that people would tell you to say and put them on the phone with me, and then we'll close it all out and do all of this other stuff. And let me tell you how to talk about me. Let me tell you how to edify me and build me up so this person, when they talk to me, know they're talking to somebody. I just want to talk to a person that I know cares about me. I just want to connect with a person that has my best interest, has my interests as their best interest, not their own best interest. Put me on the phone, connect me with somebody who can share with me how I can reach the goals, the intentions that I set for myself. I am one that says it's time to really revamp and reshift and really connect. Because I believe that the company and the people that truly connect together and bring something amazing to the world. So think about this. Would you prefer to just continue to give away your power? Would you prefer, and I want to share something with the folks that actually took the time to create your story. And I want you to really tap into those leadership skills, because the stories that you put together were amazing. And you took the time to really look at your strengths. You took the time to look at your weaknesses. And you took the time to say, hey, this is what I'm working on. This is what I want to do. This is what I see. Imagine taking that same energy, taking that same focus, and now putting it in with your team, right? Because you're creating your story right now. Right now, each and every one of us are creating our story, right? So instead of running around, I remember the good old days of running around, trying to get people to go full-time into business, because once they went full-time into business, then they were committed and blah, blah, blah. Well, I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we have a plan that somebody part-time, 4 to 10 hours a week, you literally could be changing people's lives, changing their lives. Why and how? By tapping into who they are and what they're here to do, not what you're here to do. So I'm going to tell you, again, this is not popular. This is not popular, but I would just invite you to look at the results and look at the things that are happening in your business. And then if you do want to take it to a whole nother stratosphere, then look at what we're talking about here tonight. Look at really bringing your heart to your business. So the first thing, we all think it's about the revenue sharing plan, a compensation plan. It's important. It's certainly critical, but that's not all of it. It's not about the products. We got great products. The products by itself, it's cool. But what is it really about? I got to tell you, it's really about you. It's really about you. And so I want to invite and challenge each and every person on this call to reach deep inside of who you are if you truly desire to build this business. And don't be ordinary. Don't settle for mediocre. Be extraordinary. Deliver excellence to your team. Awaken your desire and build your belief. I don't know if what we did today made any sense to you at all, but I would think if you just look at the logic, look at what we have available to us to do, I would hope that your belief is at another level. So when someone's talking to you about a plan, you could ask certain questions. I can tell you this, if somebody comes to you with a binary plan, you want to know what they think about you, just ask them, what leg are you putting me on? Are you putting me on your strength, your strong side, or your weak side? I guarantee you, they'll probably tell you, well, my weak side is going to be my strong side because that's where I'm putting all my effort and energy in, right? Right. So you don't have the same opportunity that they have to build a business. So you're already starting out at an unfair advantage. In this business, you're starting out, everybody's on the same page. So it's all about what you do. It's all about your desire in your belief? Do you believe and know in the very fiber of your being when you wake up in the morning? Do you wake up excited and ready to build a business? Or do you wake up finding 10, 20 other things to do other than focus on what you say is important to you? So we want to have a life of personal mastery. Personal mastery comes down to getting yourself to do the things that are uncomfortable, getting yourself to do the things that's going to build character, getting yourself to do the things that when your team looks at you, they say, damn, that's what I want. That's who I want to be. Right? Because right now, what is your team seeing when they look at you? I don't know. But you know what they see because you look in the mirror and you see yourself. So I say awaken a desire, build your belief, expand your vision. Expand your vision and dare to dream. I'm going to tell you, this is where I had to kick my own butt. Everything I'm sharing with you, right, are the very things that I am working on myself. Right? So I'm not saying these things to you based on anything other than this is the work that I get to do right along with you. And that's to expand the vision and dare to dream. Because I had so many damn disappointments. I even tapped down my own dreams. I tapped down my dreams to the level of disappointment because I didn't want to disappoint myself anymore or anybody else. But I got to tell you, after the time that we've spent here and the people that we get to work with, the teams that have been growing, the people that have put their stories together that I get to share my life with, I got to tell you, I am here 1,000% to expand every vision and dare to dream every dream. Because we who do have the vehicle, we do have the ability to make those dreams a reality if we get out of our damn way and do what's necessary, right? And the only way we're going to do that is to step back up and say, I believe, I know what's possible. It's not just about looking at the numbers, it's becoming an example of the numbers. So ignite your passion and purpose. We have some of the greatest products in the world. So how excited are you about the products? How will you put them in your body? Are you working out? Is your body changing? Is your body shifting? You have the ability now to create your story. You have the ability now to put your passion and your purpose on display for everyone to see. So now when you start to create your team, they can look at you and say, yo, you're on fire. And now you can look at them and say, what can we do? How do we do the same thing for you? And you just ask questions about who they are and what they want. And you dive in. And I got to tell you, I promise you, like I promised to all the people who put their stories in and put back, I got your back. Whatever you need, however it has to get done, I promise you without fail, I will be there to work with you through this process. Because it's when we experience personal mastery. It's when we can wake up and know that what we have is something no one else has. The hell with the fluff, the hell with all this other nonsense and all this crap that people tell you about their business and all these nice parades and marketing crap. When you look at the basics, there is not a company on the planet that compares to what we have. There isn't one that exists. Now, there may be, it may not be for everybody. So I'm not saying because we have it, it's for everybody. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I want to know, is it for you? Because if it's for you, you will find people if you tap into their purpose and to their passion and not yours. See, we got conditioned to believe it's about what we were going to receive. Well, it's not about that. We're in a different day and a different age. And it's really about being there and working with people about what they're going to receive. So you look at where we are today, this is it. So next week, we're going to go a little deeper into the vision. We're going to go a little deeper into the vision. And why? Because when you have that vision, when you're driven by that vision, you're driven by a really key question. And that question is, who must I become in order for this vision to be a reality? And now we want to make sure that you are that person and you're daring to dream and you're bringing all these components into reality. And in closing, truly want to say how grateful I am to our CEO. And the reason I'm so grateful is because without her, without who she is as a person, I would not be fired up to do what I am ready to do today. I would not be fired up to shift the industry, but I could see in her heart, and I could see in her desire of who and what she wanted to have and do. And so I know that with the passion and purpose, my skill set, her heart, the rest of the team that we have assembled, the leaders, the people who are here, do you realize that the people that we have in this business are about to create something that did not exist before this day? So I just want to say to you all, I love you. Let's be the best that we are here to do and do what we're here to do. Thank you so much and have an absolutely awesome night. Good night, everybody.